Hey everyone, welcome to my channel where we explore the keys to success and personal growth. I am Janis Devkoda and I have something truly exhilarating for you guys today. Recently, I had an extraordinary encounter with a former Navy officer, a true embodiment of inspiration and achievement, Amod Koirala. You won't believe the incredible lessons he shared with me to unlock the success in our lives. These insights have truly transformed the way I approach my goals, aspirations, and I'm bursting with excitement to pass them on to you. So, buckle up and get ready to embark on a thrilling journey of self discovery and empowerment. Let's dive into these three life changing lessons that I learned from remarkable Amod Koirala. As a first question, I asked Amod, as a former Navy officer, what core values and principles from a military service do you believe are most relevant and impactful for the individuals striving for personal growth and success in their day-to-day lives?
Thank you very much for the question. One of the most important thing being working in the military is the teamwork. Whether you are a team leader or you are a team member, you have to show a role model to the team. You have to have the ability to work with the team. You have to communicate effectively with the team. You have to have a good problem solving skill. You have to speak up and then help each other out. So without a teamwork, military, any of the Navy or any of the military organization cannot sustain. So that's one of the main important factor I consider as a.
Yeah, thank you so much, Amod. So, let's say there is an individual who is really shy and introvert. So, what suggestion do you give him to now go and start building teamwork? How does that person go and start building teamwork?
Some people are introverts, some people are extrovert. It's a very common phenomena. For the introvert people, you have to sort of build the relationship with the person and try to understand what are the main areas of interest of that individual person, and then you have to start breaking the ice with the interest of that individual person. Suppose the person is introvert because he just wants to talk about the baseball, he doesn't care about other things. Then you have to start the communication with the baseball and then slowly start to open up and then help the person to become more communicative.
Thank you, Amod. What is the one of the biggest lesson that you have learned in your time in Navy that the young individuals can apply to their day-to-day lives to be successful?
One of the most important lesson I learned in the Navy is the time management. The discipline, understanding of the time was very important. We were told that if you are before time, you are on time. If you are on time, you are already late. And if you are late, stand by. So for an example, if I was supposed to show up to my squadron at 4:30 a.m., I was supposed to get there at 4:25 a.m. Then
Oh,
only
wow.
I was on time. Otherwise, if I get there at 4:30, I was already late. And if I'm late, I had to stand by and for disciplinary action. So that was the biggest thing I learned, and that's the biggest lesson other people should also learn about discipline and time management, understanding the importance of time. That was the most important lesson.
How long did it take for you to realize that concept? I think you probably didn't know that the first day. How long did it take for
It
you to
took
realize that?
next day itself. The first night I went to an Abu camp, I knew how important is the time. But next day, when we were supposed to get to the chow hall, which is a dining hall, at 4:30 or 7:30, we had to get there before time. So I knew it from the second day itself. In fact, the first day itself, the importance of being time.
That's
That was the
amazing.
biggest lesson we should all learn from the military, any branch of the military. So
Cool. Amod, in your point of view, what is happiness? How do you define happiness?
well, people have defined differently, but Professor Siegelman has defined happiness in an equation. So he says happiness H is P, which is a pleasure. So pleasure, basically you get it from all the five senses you
Right.
have. So for an example, you eat something and you get happiness.
Right.
But that happiness, eating something or touching something or smelling something, doesn't last longer. So it might, when you eat something good, it might go into your brain as a memory. So
Right.
you might want to eat again, but the moment you stop eating, the memory goes away that time. So that's a lower level of happiness, which is a pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
The second level of happiness is engagement.
Mm-hmm.
So engagement is basically, you are a doctor, you
Right.
do a brain surgery for 10 hours, 12 hours,
Mm-hmm.
you get the happiness. And that happiness is more than your pleasure happiness. If you are a player, you play in the ground, whether, no matter if you are hungry or you're full, you get the happiness, engagement happiness, which is higher.
Right.
So that happiness, you can still watch soccer with your eye, you get the pleasure, but that pleasure is lower than the engagement.
Oh, yeah,
You
actually playing.
play in the soccer. So that's the next level of happiness.
Mm-hmm.
And the highest level of happiness is by service. You serve others. You do something to change their life. That happiness, when you don't expect, you serve somebody and you don't expect the result.
Mm-hmm.
That is the highest level of happiness that you can get. People have done their masters and they just went on the street and they grab some of the boys, street boys, and then help them to education and all the things. Their happiness by serving those people have been way much bigger
Right.
than the lowest level of happiness. You always, that's why you get that happiness from service the most.
Absolutely. I really love that answer. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to this video or watching to this video. The 3 lessons that we learned today from Amod are teamwork. Why is it important to be successful? How do you develop a teamwork if you are introvert or shy individual? The second one he talked about was importance of time, and the way they talked about time in military was really exciting. If you are before time, you are at time. If you are at time, then you are late, right? And the third thing we talked about was like, what is happiness to mean to him, and he gave a really good example of Professor Siegelman and the 3 level of happiness he talked about. Till next time, you guys have a great time and believe in yourself. Thank you so much.